All right, everybody, good evening. Coming up on 9:58 right now. Those of you that are just now tuning in, we do have a tornado warning that was just issued for Greenville County and Pickens County. I want to get in on this and show you what's happening right now as this line continues to move on through. If you could do me a favor, let me know where you're watching from right now. But first things first, if you're watching right now in Pickens County and in the eastern or western parts of Greenville County, you need to be seeking shelter with this warning. It is a quick spin-up type warning, which means it's got a 17-minute expiration here. So that'll get us to about 10:15 is when the warning expires. But the details on this, a tornado warning is in effect for Pickens County. The possible tornado is located near Easley, moving north and east at about 30 miles per hour. This is radar indicated right now. Please, if you're in Pickens County, be getting to shelter. Please share this with your family and friends and let me know that this is coming through loud and clear. Dale Gilbert is on WYFF4 right now. You can also tune into him as he is watching this minute by minute as we are tracking this activity roll on through. But a very severe storm that I've been seeing some winds capable of 60 miles per hour move on through. Now it is showing some signs of rotation. So let's look specifically at that velocity and the rotation in this. It's got this little kink right in here, and that's where we've been watching as the winds in this have been 40, 50, 55, 60 miles per hour right there. And that little spin is causing what looks to be a little bit of rotation. So what's happening right here is this part of the storm is rotating in like that, and this part of the storm is going like that. So there's where the potential tornado would be. And as we look closer at that to street level, it's very close to 123. So if you're in the Wyatt Acres community, there's an Ingalls right there, very close to Easley High School, next to Black's Seafood Restaurant. All right, so if you're familiar with that area, that's where the potential tornado is, and at the very least, the strongest wind that I'm seeing out of this as it's moving on through. So, folks, yes, please tune in. Dale Gilbert is on WYFF4 right now. If you're in a mobile home, you want to get to the most interior part, away from an exterior wall. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That's the key right there. Cherokee Forest neighborhood, Smithfields, we got Forest Park in here. I mean, this is some very neighborhood-driven areas. This is not a rural area. So right south of Highway 123 is where this potential tornado is on the ground as we speak. 1 second, please. Okay, I'm back. Watching it. Okay, making sure the chat is up and running right here as we're watching all things going on right now. Folks, let me know what you're seeing right here. We've got a tornado warning in effect until 10:15 for Pickens County. It is heading right toward downtown Greenville here. So let's put a track on it first to show you what communities it could be in. The cell right in here is the one in question as it moves off toward the east here at roughly 30 miles per hour. I'm going to put 35 just to be safe because these things can pick up speed. That'll put it in Easley really any minute now. That's where it's at. Tanglewood, Whitehorse Heights, Parker, Whitehorse, Chestnut Hills, Judson community of Greenville, and then West Greenville in about 16 minutes. So all these places, we got a very quick spin up in a very populated area. About 50,000 people are in the path of this tornado warning and potential tornado on the ground right here. So this would be over Easley, just south of Highway 123, just past the Ingalls right there as we're watching that move on through. So let me pull this up. All right, this is pushing east very quickly at about 30 miles per hour. All right, got a couple of different tornado warnings here. There is one south of Atlanta as well, West Easley near Pickens. All right, so Nonetheless, this is a line of strong winds, and what's happening here is part of this line is trying to accelerate past the other line. In these type situations, what you'll get is a quick spin-up tornado. It can be seconds long, but it can be dangerous. It can be minutes long. As we turn on reflectivity, I want to do an x-ray of the storm right here as a new scan comes through. Right there near the Kingsbury. See that bright spot, that brighter green right in there? That's potentially where we have the spin-up. It's not a classic major rotating system like you would get, like we do get in spring, April and May. Nate says the tornado warnings are going off in Liberty. The sirens are going off. What a scary situation there. I know that can be very disruptive when you hear the sirens going off in Liberty, but best to seek shelter. Those of you asking about a mobile home, those of you asking about a camper, you want to hunker down. Okay, these are situations where EF0, EF1s are likely in these type spin-up situations. Those are 70 to 90 mile per hour winds. Those can bring down trees. You want to take note of what's around you. You want to just stay put. You don't want to be driving on 123. This is a fast spin up. I mean, this thing escalated quickly. I mean, we had no severe thunderstorm warning to a severe thunderstorm warning to 5 minutes later, a tornado warning. That's what happened here. It's getting very close to Smithfield's Country Club. Mutt's Barbecue easily. This is right where the storm is right now. All right. Mutt's Barbecue easily. Right there near 123. Very, very populated, busy area at any time. If you're on 123 right now, pull over. Don't be driving in this. Don't let this thing kind of catch you off guard. Now, that said, this whole line is kind of is susceptible or vulnerable to any kind of flare-ups of some wind here. I mean, you got big flare-ups of 50, 57, 58 mile per hour winds in this line across Anderson County. So it wouldn't surprise me to get a severe thunderstorm warning here. I don't see anything rotating except for right here. This line right here got 50 to 60 mile per hour winds going in one direction so fast that it's giving this little kink. So if there's a tornado, what's happening here is it's kind of wrapping in. So this tornado warning expires in 10 minutes as it moves on toward the east right here. Let's look at this a little closer. So the winds are coming in here like that, near Kingsbury, Twin Brook. At the same time, that wind's coming like that. So you're getting this big push of wind accelerating right here so fast that it outruns that other section of it. Therefore, it gets to be severe. So severe thunderstorm warning includes Greenville, Pickens, and Anderson County, but the actual tornado warning stops right there at the county line. So Greenville County, you are not in a tornado warning. You are in a severe thunderstorm warning. Either way, this cell, especially the tornadic part that is accelerated past it, is heading toward downtown Greenville. So either way you slice it, downtown Greenville is going to get some big-time wind here in the next 15 to 20 minutes as this thing rolls off toward the west, or from the west to the east. So there's a bigger picture. We got this severe thunderstorm warning. It's got the tornado possible tag on it, and that goes until 10:45. This includes central Greenville, all of Anderson County. Hazard is mainly 60 mile per hour winds, but with that portion of the storm accelerating past the other portion of it, it has the potential to accelerate and give us potential tornado there. So watching this very, very closely here as it moves on through. Some very strong wind heading toward downtown Greenville as we speak. Let's get a fresh storm track on this. And again, meteorologist Dale Gilbert is on WYFF4 right now. We were talking just a few moments ago. The warning was issued. He is in the station right now holding down the fort. I wanted to hop on here and give you an idea of what I'm seeing, but you need to be watching Dale Gilbert right now on TV as well, as he is using live Super Doppler 4 to keep us posted on this. So Tanglewood, Whitehorse, Parker, Chestnut Hills, Brandon, Judson, West Greenville, Woodside, City View, Park Place, Nickeltown, and then Greenville in about 14 minutes. Stone Lake Community in about 14 minutes. 511,000 people. So this is the most populated area of the upstate where this storm is heading, and it is a severe thunderstorm. And in portions of this, a tornado warning over easily as we speak. So zooming in here to Forest Park, It's where Highway 153 and Highway 123 meet up. Got a fresh scan here. Let's go in on this and x-ray it for potential tornadic activity. Right now, we can bring this loop back a little bit, kind of see where we've been and where we're at. It was because of that flare-up right there that they issued the tornado warning. Now it looks like it's consolidated back into a single line. Nonetheless, that line is about to just smack into Greenville. Let me check with them here. What are you folks seeing? Tell me what you're seeing in the comments section. Let me know where you're watching from right now. Take inventory of what's happening. Let me switch over to my chat here. In constant communication with the National Weather Service, they're telling us they're watching this cell over Pickens. All right, they too are noticing that the circulation appears to have weakened, flared up west of Easley, went through Easley, then weakened. So good that we're synced up there, kind of seeing the same things. Nonetheless, still a very strong wind maker here as it rolls on through. Gayla says her dad's power is out near Johnson Road in Easley. Yeah, would not surprise me. This is a big wind maker here through Pickens County, Easley 123. So nonetheless, whether it's in a straight line or in a rotation with a possible tornado like we had there in Easley, this is a big wind maker. All right. Let me see what I'm seeing here. Waiting on the next scan from the National Weather Service to come through, as well as the latest that warning, the tornado warning over Pickens County does expire in 5 minutes, unless it should have signs of flaring back up. I do not expect to see this continuing in Greenville County, at least for the tornadic part. The severe thunderstorm is certainly still intact, and this thing is capable of producing some significant wind. The rotating part of that really flared up just really in an instant and allowed us to possibly have that tornado on the ground near Easley. But in these type situations, what you'll have is these things flare up, and then they have that rotation that's strong enough to get to the ground for 30 seconds, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then it goes back to a straight line fashion, which is what's likely happened here. Is if there was a tornado, it was possibly over Easley. One second here, folks. Messaging here. All right, so where are you folks watching from right now? Let me know what you're seeing. Here, power out in parts of Easley. The wind was super strong in Easley. Thank you, Sharon. Glad you're safe. All right. Brushy Creek Road, thunder and wind and rain. Certainly. Give you some perspective here. It is quite spicy in Anderson County as well. This whole line is moving off toward the east. Then you go down here toward the south. There are, or have been, several tornado warnings today in and around Atlanta southbound. And then our line really just kind of went from showers to spicy in a matter of minutes here. And we're about to outrun this warning box. It actually looks like the worst part of the storm is not even in the warning box anymore. I don't see any rotation at all in this right now, but I do see some pockets of some very strong winds. So I do expect this to expire here in about 2 minutes for the tornadic part of it. Nonetheless, some very strong wind and some heavy rain are about to come into the most populated areas of Greenville, most populated areas of the upstate. Here across Greenville, Five Forks, Simpsonville, Malden, and Greer. All right. So let's get a couple of tracks on this. Let's look back down here toward Anderson. Let's start with Anderson right here. I'm going to give you a storm track on this as it's moving toward the east. All right. So this line right here that's moving toward Anderson, eastern Anderson County, being High Point, Doshino, Honeypath, Princeton, Brewerton, Hickory Tavern, Ecom, Barksdale, Maddens, and Cold Point, all within the next 40 minutes. Star, Iowa, you're kind of in the path of this as well. You're getting some rather significant heavy rain, some lightning, and some gusty winds. Bowman to Elberton, I mean, it's rocking and rolling right now for you as this rolls on toward the east very, very quickly. All right, we're about 1 minute away. Are we good in Liberty? You are good in Liberty. All right, you're good in Liberty. Still some rain, possibly still some lightning, but you can come out of your safe place. Nothing severe right now in Liberty. All good. Come on out. All right. Thanks for hanging with us here in Pickens County over Easley. This thing has been rough. Right along 123. That line, what happened is part of it just extended out past the other part of it. That happens in summertime. That happens in the spring when you get significant severe weather like this, and the potential for that begins to move off toward the east. And right now, this line is about to just wallop Greenville. I mean, we're about to get some pouring rain. It's about to go from calm, quiet to just pouring down. And that will give us very heavy rain, some lightning, some thunder you'll probably hear, and then you'll also have the potential of some damaging wind here because this warning for Greenville continues for another 30 minutes till 10:45. So you see the lightning strikes associated with that as it expands off toward the east. The tornado warning has been dropped, so we're all clear from the tornado warning. But nonetheless, very, very strong winds are moving east toward downtown Greenville as we speak. So the tornadic side of this has come down. Nonetheless, though, we're still looking at the potential of very strong winds moving through these areas. All right, you see it there. Where are you guys watching from right now? Is Slater, Marietta okay? It's very windy. You are okay. Certainly, I would not advise any travel right now for Slater, Marietta. You're just north of the worst of it. The worst of it's really TR to Cherrydale, to downtown Greenville, to Gant, Malden, Simpsonville, Five Forks, and Greer. This area is about to get some of the strongest of the winds here. And as we put a track on specifically this part of it and spread it out, moving at about 40 miles per hour, watch this. 500,000 people in the path of this cell. That includes Pleasant Valley in about 2 minutes, Paramount Park in about 4 minutes, Nicholtown in 4 minutes, Greenville in about 4 or 5 minutes, Five Forks in 15 minutes. So Greenville, the estimate was about 10 o'clock. It's slowed down a little bit. It was moving at 55 miles per hour. Then it started crawling at about 35 miles per hour. So it kind of pumped the brakes a little bit. And now it looks like it's going to be in Five Forks at about 10:30. So within 10, 15 minutes, rolling towards you. Again, most popular areas of the state, really, but even the upstate, right in here through Five Forks. Stop the radar, show you what I'm talking about. It is just absolutely coming down here. Near Southside High School, up through Glendale, Chanticleer Golf Course. You scroll up here, get into New Easley Highway 123 in downtown Greenville. So that's where it's at right now. Then it crosses over 85, gets into this area of Greenville County, near Ashton Lakes, heads up Five Forks. You got some rain in and around you there right now in Woodruff Road and Five Forks. This near Scuffletown Road, Bell's Crossroads, Jonesville Road. Got some heavy rain, but look what's off to your west. That right there looks like it's going to go just north of you. And there you go. We got a new extension of the severe thunderstorm warning. And again, this is big time area of Greenville, big time area of the upstate. Stretching farther south, you got this big time wind and rain across Anderson County, Lounsville, Elbert County. Some big winds in this area. But this new warning just extended to and through Greenville County and Spartanburg County. This goes until 11 o'clock, so this will get us till the top of the hour. It has some strong winds associated with it. 60 miles per hour, Paris Mountain State Park, Reedville, Welford, Greenville, Eastside, Lake Robinson, Lyman Lake, GSP Airport, Inman, Five Forks, and downtown Greenville. You got a tornado tag on here, which is not a warning. It just means that the conditions are possible for a tornado, given the environment that we had. And what they're saying here is that this line, as it moves through, has the potential to accelerate past the other part of that line. Give me 1 second here, folks. Okay, I'm back, folks. Just need to check in. Dale is all good. We're watching this storm here for you, WIFF 4. There is not a tornado warning in effect anymore. That was for Pickens County. It was a 20 minutes tornado warning as part of that line began to accelerate past the other part of the line. We were on it, watching it closely. But boy, this thing's spicy. It flared up from just a rain shower over Walhalla, Seneca, Oconee County, and then went from 40 mile an hour winds to 50 mile an hour winds to 60 plus mile per hour winds. And when it accelerated like that, a part of that line started to rotate. And that gave us that quick tornado warning for Pickens and Easley. And now the storm sits over Greenville County, and it is about to be rocking here across many areas of Greer, Simpsonville, Five Forks, northbound. Downtown Greenville, in the path of the heaviest of the rain and whatnot right now, into the Judson community, West Greenville, Chestnut Hills, Chanticleer, all these areas right in here. I mean, any minute now, we can get a track on it right here as it moves toward the north and east at 40 miles per hour. So there you go. Wade Hampton Community, Taylor's, 10 minutes, Chick Springs. Let me clear that. And farther south right here. I mean, this thing's just popping. See it roll through right there is when that spot got really feisty. Here we are. Kind of moving to the east-northeast. Let me stop it right there. Let's get a track on this southern portion of it as it kind of rides right along I-85. Batesville, Pelham. Let me zoom this bad boy in a little bit. Show you where we're talking about. Five Forks, about 10 minutes. So just after 10:30. All right. That's Greenville. Spartanburg, you're now included in this. From Inman to Lyman Lake. A special weather statement just issued here. So this is kind of one step below a severe thunderstorm warning. This for Belton, Star, Honeypath, eastbound toward Graycourt. So this has wind gusts up to 50 to 55 miles per hour. So one step below a severe thunderstorm. Includes Fork Shoals, Princeton, Graycourt, Fountain Inn, Belton, Williamston, and Hickory Tavern. So let's put a track on this activity as it rolls on from Belton and Honeypath out like that, about 40 miles per hour speed. Be in Duncan Township in about 16 minutes, Owings, Graycourt, and then Barksdale in about 30 minutes. All right. Here we are, Greer, Duncan, Reedville, downtown Greenville. I mean, it is just pouring right now. Nicholtown, getting into Woodruff Road now. This near Haywood Road, Embassy Suites on Verde, getting close to Roper Mountain, then pushing east toward Frankie's Fun Park, and then toward the Five Forks area. Kind of got two parts of it. Malden right here. Let's look at the wind, see if anything's rotating right now. That's kind of been the concern. As we look back at the loop of this rotation, here it comes right there. You see that little bright spot? Right here, a 6 mile boom right there. So it went from 30 miles per hour to 50 to 60, rotated for about 2 or 3 minutes worth of scans, and it came back down. So that's what you'll get this time of year. But that same line sits over Greenville right now. Turn back on the reflectivity. Thankfully, nothing seems to be rotating, but still, nonetheless, some very strong winds. What are you guys reporting here? Chesney, you are just south of the warning, but nonetheless about to get some really heavy rain near Fingerville, Cowpens, Clifton, Packlet, Jonesville, Lockhart. Got a hailmaker right there. Got quite a bit of lightning. Not as much lightning associated with this cell over Greenville, just really torrential rain and wind. And, it's in and out. Now there's still some rain behind it. The initial line will move through, and then behind it will be some rain. But as far as this thing just thundering and booming all the time, no. Most of the lightning associated with it right now is over Comer, touching back into Athens, Georgia, in Bulldog territory. Abbeville, Greenwood, about to get a heavy shower. You got it right now moving over you. Lawrence, Union. The two strongest storms right now are over Greenville, Greer, Simpsonville, Malden, through Fountain Inn. So let me know what you guys are seeing right here. Let me know where you're watching from, if you will. we'll continue this conversation as we are continuing to get severe weather threats, including the potential of a tornado. Got a severe thunderstorm warning for Greenville, Spartanburg, Pickens County as this moves through. Although Pickens, as fast as this thing is moving, you're pretty much out of the severe aspect of it as it pushes off toward the east. So let me know where you're watching from right now and kind of what you're seeing. It's not going to be an all-night thing. Once we get past this here at the top of the hour, meteorologist Dale Gilbert will be on a WYFF News 4 at 11 o'clock, and he'll be tracking the very latest on Live Super Doppler 4, which gives us that instant look at where any storms are located. And, I think that'll be it for us tonight. I think once this moves on through, we're looking pretty. As far as anything else is concerned, we get some rain, possibly rumble of thunder into the overnight hours. But as far as this thing continuing to be widespread severe, no, it doesn't look to stay like that. So we won't have this thing just continue bumbling on throughout the night. Watching this line, though, in Greenville. Those of you reporting some gusty winds, let me know what you're seeing right now in Greenville east through Roper Mountain. If you live off of Woodruff Road, it's coming towards you. Let me know what you're seeing. Got a new report from the National Weather Service. They are continuing this severe thunderstorm warning here until 11 o'clock. 30 minutes. What they've got here is a tornado tag on it. What that tells me is that there is the potential that this thing is rotating, but it is not at this time. So what that means is we got to keep an eye on it. All right, let me pull this back up right here. All right, Doris is talking about some heavy rain where she's at. Got very bad thunder and lightning in Anderson. No doubt about that. I've seen a lot more of the lightning in and around Anderson than I have just about anywhere else across the area so far. Berry Road right there. Lawrence, Gray Court, Greer. Where are you folks watching from? I'll zoom into your area. Greenville near McPherson Park. Heavy wind and rain. Thank you for that. Matches up with what we're seeing right here as well. So continue to watch that as we move on through. Let me know what you're seeing where you're at as we're watching the severe weather threat unfold across the area. So from Greenville to Spartanburg eastbound, that's where kind of the worst of this is located as we speak. And we're watching that move on through. So Greenville, Honeypath, Lawrence, surrounding areas, Simpsonville, up through Greer and Duncan. You're watching this right now as it pushes through quickly off toward the east. And that's where I see the worst of it right now, as you're in the path of this in Spartanburg as well. I've got nothing in Simpsonville yet, says Ann. Botany Woods, Edwards Road, heavy rain and very gusty winds. That matches up with what we're seeing right now, so thank you for that report. Caitlin's watching from Wellford. We got Lake Robinson in the house. Lake Robinson is getting some heavy rainfall. You're kind of just south of the worst of it up toward Lake Robinson. But nonetheless, here comes the rain, and you're likely to hear the wind in any minute now across Five Forks, Ashton Lakes, Holly Tree. I mean, it is pushing in quickly, and just as fast as it moves in, kind of the worst part of it's over with. So it's just like that, and then it'll be pushing out. So Woodruff Road, Highway 14, Ashton Springs community, Woodruff Road, Scuffletown Road, all these areas kind of in the path of this as we speak. Batesville Road up here. Here we are at Southside Christian. Getting here to the Brookhaven community. Go up here to Ashton Springs community. Wouldn't surprise me to hear some pea-sized hail out of that as well near Holly Tree. In fact, it is absolutely rocking outside my house. Central's got some heavy rain and thunder, lightning, lots of lightning. It's Simpsonville and Main Street, Highway 14, says Becky. Got a couple of lightning strikes. Very heavy rain near the Roper Mountain Science Center. Yeah, it's really coming down outside there. Near Haywood Mall. Five Forks, you're kind of getting the worst of it right now. I mean, the wind is really picking up here across parts of Five Forks, Greer, Simpsonville. Not seeing any rotation out of this. These are some big-time storms, though, folks. Stretching down to Anderson. Lots of lightning associated with this. Jack says, I lied to you. It's raining on me now in the parking lot. Jack, get to your car. Got some hail off Highway 14 and Woodruff Road. Brittany, thank you for that report. Yeah, I see hail picking up in this here across Five Forks. Five Forks is definitely getting the worst of this severe thunderstorm right now. It is coming down. Just told my wife we got a tree outside of our house. A little suspect, kind of leaning since Helene. Kind of keeping an eye on it. All the kids are asleep. It's kind of one of those things, you know. I talk about it all the time on TV. Take note of your surroundings. If you've got any kind of suspect trees, or maybe you know of a tree that's dead, you just haven't had time to get it down yet. Maybe make precautions to kind of go on that other side of the house, all right? Kayla says, I'm in Chesney, not doing anything bad right now. Is this it, or is this the biggest band? Yes, this is the biggest band. This is kind of the last hurrah before, additional rain will stay with us. But what's happening right now, once you get the worst of it, like Five Forks is getting right now, like Greer is getting right now, once that moves through, there's nothing worse behind it, okay? Yeah, Smoky Dreams Barbecue, Southside Christian, east toward Five Forks, Lowe's Foods, Batesville Road, Anderson Ridge Road, getting to Bell's Crossroads, near the elementary. You're kind of in the path of the worst of this right now. And it gets up here to Sugar Tit, Reedville, Dillard Crossroads. Then it gets into Spartanburg, near Clifton, Cowpens, Fingerville, up through Chesney. All right, let's track this. About 40 miles per hour. There you go for those communities. All right, new track has it over Reedville in the next 10 minutes. I mean, it's moving fast. So in and out of Five Forks, before you know it, heading to Woodruff. Schweitzer. Arcadia. Right here in the path of that. Downtown Simpsonville looks like you're kind of in the worst of it right now with the rain, but probably slacking up here any minute. Not seeing rotation out of this. That's the good news. I do see some heavy rain, some strong winds, but it does appear that as this rolls through, it's not rotating like it once was. There's Adams Mill Road, Five Forks. Your Highway 14, new scan just came in. There's a GSP Doppler, GSP International Airport, south through Five Forks into Simpsonville. Looks like the worst is over with for Holly Tree. Still got some heavy rain. And the rain's not going to just go away. There's going to be quite a bit of actual rain through about 2, 3 a.m. After 3 a.m., we start to do less. Trying to decide if I should tell my kid to stay put in Roebuck or get home now in Boiling Springs. Well, let's look at it. Roebuck and Boiling Springs. I mean, I don't know that I'd... No, you don't want him out all night, right? But, I mean, I don't know that I'd be driving in this right now. I'd let this thing pass on by. I wouldn't be driving in Boiling Springs. Yeah, you've already got some heavy rain up there. Know a lot of people are at the concert in Charlotte right now. A lot of sales in and around Charlotte. That one's a little squirrely looking right there near York. Big time lightning. Big time lightning. This storm certainly means business across the areas. It rolls on through Greer. Now it looks like the worst of it is now moving out of Greenville County into Spartanburg County. This severe thunderstorm warning has been trimmed back significantly, as honestly it's kind of outracing the warning box. Stretching down here to Anderson, into Gray Court, Lawrence, Abbeville County, into Greenwood County. Still a very strong storm there as it rolls on through. But you see the colors. I'm kind of cautiously optimistic here. The colors are beginning to come down a little bit. This thing appears to have kind of reached a peak and looks like it's starting to come down a little bit. Certainly still packing a punch as it rolls through, but not as bad as it was in Easley. How are my folks in Easley? Anybody got any damage to report? If you do, please let me know. Get my attention in the chat here or send me a message. I would be grateful to know. Dale Gilbert will have much more coming up on WYFF News 4 in 19 minutes, folks. Keep that in mind. 11 o'clock. Dale will have the latest radar before you head to bed. Get ready for your Sunday as we're watching this move on through. Honestly, most of the worst of the weather has been Atlanta southbound today. It even appears there it is starting to slack up. Our area kind of escalated quickly. It went from 30-mile-per-hour winds to 50 to 60 miles per hour, and then actually started to tighten up and rotate, which is what happened over Pickens and Easley. That rotation lasted about 2 to 5 minutes, and the warning was 20 minutes long. So the old days, they'd do a warning for an hour. Now Nashville is able to do a warning for, 20 minutes or so, and then it strolls on through. Jean says, my kids are driving home from Charlotte right now to Greenville and Easley. I'm so worried about them. I would encourage them to, when they start to get into some of this heavy rain, to not be driving on 85. I know it's late. You don't want to delay getting home, but you also do not want to be driving in this. I mean, this storm over York heading to Charlotte is really potent. I mean, that said, you've got probably an hour of drive through Gaffney and Cherokee County that there's nothing going on. But once you hit this, you don't want to be driving in it. Pull over, gas station, fast food, parking lot, somewhere, rest area. Let it pass by and then begin the drive again. Yeah, they'll be driving in some rain that's back here, but you don't want to be driving in this part of it. All right? Does that make sense? Paige says, all good and easily, thankfully. I'm glad you're good where you're at. Lexi says, I saw that thing funneling. Yeah, it kind of tightened up there for a minute, didn't it? Corey says, I have video my daughter sent me. Corey, let me know. Let me know what you got. Powdersville, Easley area. Got some limbs and some tree branches down. Small branches. Okay. Thank you for that, Lisa. Power is out in Black Snake Road, Easley. Possible tree down. Let's see here. Yeah, I've got 1,000 people without power in Easley right now. Actually, check that. About 700 in Greenville. Got a swath here across Brushy Creek near Jacobs Road, just north of 85. It's got no power in that area with the strong winds. Sadie says, Easley's all good where I'm at, just some rain and lightning. Got lots of thunder outside the house of McKenzie, Woodmont High School, thank you. Very loud here off Highway 101, Reedville Road, thunder and heavy rain, lightning. Denise, thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words. What do we got here? All right. So just to recap what's happening right now, we got a severe thunderstorm warning for Spartanburg County. It includes Greer, includes the eastern part of southeastern Greenville County, including basically Five Forks toward Woodruff in Spartanburg County, eastern parts of Simpsonville, basically downtown east, for that cell right here in the bottom part of your screen that's now about to cross into Spartanburg County. It looks like they're going to cover this with a special weather statement. It does look like this storm's kind of splitting. You see the northern half of this heading toward Fingerville, Landrum, Boiling Springs, Chesney area. And then the secondary part down south is heading towards Spartanburg downtown. Stone Station, Moore, Pauline, Packlet, and Central Packlet near Crescent right now. So two sections of this. I mean, this right here has 14 minutes to go, but it's about to outrun that section of it. 10:39 was the last update. Severe thunderstorm is located 10 miles east of Greenville downtown near the airport, moving east at 30 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gust with it. So it's still trying to hang on right here. Donna says we didn't have much thunder in Taylor's, but it did rain pretty hard. Norris, you were under part of a severe thunderstorm warning and even a tornado warning earlier. Now it's just some heavy rainfall. Norris is all good. There's nothing severe in Norris right now. Calhoun Falls and Easley. Got some heavy rain. Slater, Marietta, Star, Iowa, Lounsville, Calhoun Falls, Greenwood Uptown. Where are my Greenwood people at? I know you're there. Had some heavy rain, some thunder and lightning. This outflow boundary, I think, is almost as... Look at that thing. Well-defined outflow. That tells me this storm right here is trying to collapse, which is good news. It means it's weakening a bit. Sometimes that outflow boundary can create other issues. There is nothing severe right now in Liberty or Norris. You're good. You're good, Courtney. Jenna says we're camping in Seneca on Lake Kiwi. What does the evening look like? Jenna, you probably got a couple hours, probably 2, 3 a.m. of some rain. But beyond that, things are not severe anymore. Kristen Greer, you're kind of in the thick of it right now. 10 more minutes, it's east of you. Is Campobello okay? Can I go to bed now? Campobello, you're kind of in the thick of it. You're in the worst of it. But right now, there's nothing tornadic. There's some strong winds, 40, 50 miles per hour. So you don't need trees around you. I think you're fine to go to bed. Shut the thing off, go to bed. Cassie says Greenwood's here. Is this all, or will there be more coming? Looks like there's more on the map. Yeah, Greenwood, you kind of had a precursor, a little appetizer here. You can get down to that. Yeah, that thing came in pretty hot there over Cross Hill. Now it's over Clinton. That is definitely not the main entree. That's this. That's kind of been what everybody else is just seeing is it. You just kind of had a storm crop up right ahead of it. And that outflow is kind of helping push that off to the east. And in fact, I bet this outflow is going to make this the more dominant, stronger section of it. That would not surprise me at all. Here across Duncan, Greer, Reedville, Fair Forest, Spartanburg, Fingerville. I'm kind of in the worst of it right now. Strong winds and heavy rain in Elberton. Thank you for that update. I knew I had some Elbert County people in here. You certainly got some strong winds out of that. Let's look at the reflectivity with the velocity. Not seeing rotation. I do see some strong winds, though. Let's take a sample of these winds. 40. Certainly quite strong on the leading edge of this. Between 30, 40 miles per hour. Pocket of 45. Watching that in there. Hang on one second, folks. Okay, I'm back. Touching base with Dale here. He's about to go on at 11 o'clock. Just making sure we're seeing the same things. And yeah, we got, we're cautiously optimistic with what we're seeing here. Certainly still some strong storms. Now, could this flare back up? Sure. But it is moving very quickly. And the fact that there are two special weather statements tells me that in about 7 minutes, we're going to see this warning expire and a couple of areas that are highlighted in blue. Now, certainly strong. I don't want you to think that. It's certainly not not letting up completely, but certainly not as severe as it once was, which is great news. And we're not done with the rain. I just want you to know that once this first line goes through, you're all clear for severe in Pickens County. You're all clear in Greenville. There will not be any more flare-ups of big severe weather, but there will be some rain and possibly some thunder. If there's going to be a severe storm or a brief spin-up isolated tornado, it would be over Abbeville, Greenwood, Lawrence, Spartanburg, Cherokee, or Union County. It'd be right in here. And this will be out of here within 20, 30 minutes as fast as this is moving. Where it will probably hang on closer to 11:30 is probably southern Spartanburg County just because of the way the line is angled right there. But if you're trying to figure out when you can go to sleep, just some good old-fashioned rain in Greenville, Simpsonville now. Greer for that matter. But off toward the east, that's where you're finding the more strong part of this storm. Allison says the rain came fast in Bowling Springs. Yeah, I mean, it goes from 0 to 60. Literally 0 mile per hour winds to 60 mile per hour winds in just a minute. I mean, it does not take long for this thing to ramp up and to move on through. JD asked if Five Forks is clear. Now, yeah, Five Forks, you don't have anything severe anymore. I mean, I wouldn't go out dancing in the rain. There's still some lightning, but Carly, you're so welcome. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching. It's one of those situations where, we were watching this storm that was over Walhalla, Seneca, flared up, went from 30 mile per hour to 50 mile per hour winds, and then flared up with a little bit of rotation here across Pickens and Easley. Went south of 123. There was probably 2 to 5 minutes of scans that looked suspect, where one part of the line was outrunning another part of the line. But that was about it. After that, it was settling down. Asking about Bostic, Rutherford County, my friends at Jellystone Campground. You're under a special weather statement here for the possibility of winds up to 50 miles per hour, and you're about to get some very heavy wind and some very heavy rain, I should say. This activity out of Spartanburg County is going to roll your way and kind of rolling right off the foot of the mountains right in here. So you're in it for about another 30 minutes in Bostic and Ellenboro, Jellystone up in here. Lake Lure, Chimney Rock, you got some heavy rain. Sugarloaf Mountain. And it's just absolutely pouring in Greenville right now. And probably, honestly, will be until midnight, 2 a.m. Amber says, we had really bad winds in Gray Court, but it has since calmed down. I believe that. Yeah, you had that initial outflow come through. That is actually not rain right there. That is wind from this line pushing on in. Folks, hope everybody stays safe driving back from Charlotte. Lots of concerts going on, so a lot of those people drive right down 85 right here. And again, if you know anybody that could be, call the passenger, tell them, hey, when you get to Spartanburg County, pick up a spot on the map, pull up your phone and zoom in. When you get to this part, pull over. Just pull over, let it go through. Best, I know they want to get home, it's late, but best to let that thing just scroll on through. Crystal says, thank you. You always help my storm anxiety. Crystal, you're very welcome. Happy to help. Is Salem clear from possible tornado? Yes, absolutely. No concerns in Salem. You got some heavy rain. And honestly, folks, most areas, let's just put it like this. If you're circled in blue, you're fine from severe weather. You can go to bed. And really, I probably should draw that a little bit over. Let me stop my radar. There you go. All right, here's your go to bed forecast. If you're in this blue, you can go to bed. Greenville, Travelers Rest, Pickens, Central, Seneca, Walhalla, Salem, all of these counties. Yeah, you've got rain, but there's nothing severe about what's happening right now for your area. All right, does that make sense? Where we do have severe concerns are over Spartanburg County, Cherokee County, Union County. But even in those areas, I believe this severe thunderstorm warning is about to expire. And what we're going to have here are these highlighted areas, which are basically, hey, this is a strong storm. It's not to a severe criteria, but it's a strong storm. I think that's what we're going to get to here across parts of Spartanburg County. And I'll go over these three areas one more time for you. All right, let's start the south, work our way up. Abbeville, you're about to get some heavy rain. And this could be 30, 40 mile per hour winds. Uptown Greenwood, you're about to get a big gust of wind from this outflow right here. Hodges, 96 included in that. Lake Greenwood. You get up here to Lawrence. You got some more heavy rain to get through. Here, there you go. Thankfully, the severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire on time, which is good. That's a very good sign. If this thing were even close to holding on, the National Weather Service would have continued that warning downstream just to keep the messaging going straight, right? You don't want to bring it down only to bring it back up. Kind of sends false messages. So the fact that that has been dropped is certainly some very good signs. But there are still 2 or 3 areas here that are under a special weather statement, which basically means, hey, wind gusts are up to 50 miles per hour. It's not a severe thunderstorm above 60, but it's a strong one. Lake Bowen, Columbus, moving into Polk County. So Polk and Rutherford County, you still got probably 30 minutes. We'll call it 11:30. By 11:30, everybody's out of it, I think. But Spartanburg, you probably got another 10, 15 minutes, and this thing's pushing into Union County. And this area has been worked over by these storms. So we'll be looking better in those areas. Same story for Abbeville, Greenwood, Lawrence, Clinton, Cross Hill, Calhoun Falls to Elbert County. Kind of the worst of it is about to push on through and be over with. And then we'll just have a calmer night. I do not see anything tornadic whatsoever. And even when we did have a tornadic cell, it did not look like we were seeing anything that was on the ground for a long period of time. There was a spin up right there over easily, and those can be sometimes 1 or 2 radar scans long, or they can be 1 or 2 minutes long. In this case, I think it was about 2 minutes long. South of 123, there was a little area that was extended out past the other, and sometimes that can give you a quick touchdown of a weak tornado. Same story with strong winds. It can give you that quick spin up, and then it simmers on down. So, folks, that's kind of the way things are saying. Blacksburg, you probably got 30 more minutes of some rain ramping up, and then it simmers back down. But I think things will be looking back up in Blacksburg by 11:30. And this is not an all-night thing, folks. So once you get past the last hurrah, some heavy rain, we may hear some more thunder and lightning, right? You may see some more lightning and hear the thunder, but there's no more severe weather that will be coming. So it's not one of those nights where you got to stay up. It's not one of those nights where you got to be on guard. What I will say is Dale Gilbert is on WYFF News 4 right now. Make sure you tune back in here in about 15 minutes. Watch his last weathercast. And folks, should anything else turn severe, I'll pop back on right here on this device wherever you're watching from right now to keep you posted of what's going on. So hope that helps, folks. Stay safe. Have a good rest of your Saturday. Much better weather coming our way tomorrow. Lower humidity, mid-70s, some sunshine. We do have an active week ahead coming our way, but nothing like this, at least in the next couple of days. So I will keep you posted. I'm going to be watching the radar closely, and Dale and I are in constant communication. We'll let you know should anything turn severe again. Right now, there are no severe thunderstorm warnings across the area, just 2 highlighted areas here of some strong storms, 30 mile per hour to 40 mile per hour winds. I will keep you posted, folks. Otherwise, good sleeping